Hello guys, welcome to this new course about Introduction to Swift, and in this course we'll be learning about Swift programming language, which is used by Apple and in almost all of their products. That it is written here. See, Swift is a powerful and intuitive programming language for Mac OS, iOS, Apple Watches, TV, and beyond. That means that Swift has been used almost in each and every product that Apple offers. That's because Swift is a compiling language, programming language, which is based on Objective-C. So the main language, the Objective-C is the main language that has been used by Apple, and then they enhanced and they moved to new language, which is way much more easy than Objective-C and more powerful and more fast than Objective-C, and it is very easy to learn also, and almost all the products are being made in Swift. So this is why it is very essential to learn Swift, and this course is based on Swift programming language, and there are Swift versions. That when the Swift 1 came, 2 came, 3, 4 and 5. Currently the current version is Swift 5, and we will be building our app. We will be learning the basics of Swift 5, and actually the core language of Swift 5. And in this picture you can see that there is a curriculum, that how we are going to learn the things. That in the first part we are going to learn variable constants, then we are data types, array, dictionary, sets, and so on in the second part. And after this course you will be getting ready to make an app, and make a complete app in Xcode for iOS application or Mac OS application, because these are the basics of programming in Swift you have to learn. So in order to getting started with Swift programming language, what you can do, you need Xcode in your Mac. If you have Mac, you need Xcode to work with Swift. So if you go to your application, where you download your application, and you search for Xcode, see, this is the Xcode is going to come, and from here you can download the Xcode. I already have it, so it is saying me to update. So you can click on the Xcode from here or there, or you can click on get to download Xcode. After you download your Xcode, you have to open your Xcode, and we can get started. And for example, if you this course is not only for Mac users. If you have Windows or something, there is an other solution to run your code, but you won't be able to make a complete application without Xcode. Still, what you can do, you can go to a browser approach where you can run when you can run your Swift code in a browser just to test the code. And for this course you just only need the browser. We are not going to make any application in this course. If you are looking for a browser approach, what you can do, you can go to a website called online.swiftplayground.1. There you can run your code. If you click on let's play, that's going to open a playground for you, which is almost exact same of what's the playground we are going to see in Xcode in within few minutes. So here you can run your code, and you can do whatever you can do in the Xcode playground. So let's just jump right into Xcode and get started with your Xcode. Let's see how to set up your Xcode. After you download your application, you can see the Xcode has been downloaded either in your menu down, or you can go to your apps and you can see type Xcode and you will find Xcode. You click on it. As you see that the Xcode has been opened. So if I want to make something, let me just bring this Xcode to some other screen to be very nice with it. Yes, so if I need some this Xcode, uh, so you can see your Xcode is been launched. For this course we are only going to be making playgrounds, which is the first option here. Get started with playground. What is the playground for Xcode? Where you can Xcode playground is where you can test your code, you can learn without any other options of complete Xcode, which is very lightweight and you will need it. And there are two other options which are not necessary for this course, which is create new Xcode project and clone an existing project. We will get into it in some other courses. For just for now, we are going to get started and make a new Xcode playground. So this is the first option, get started with playground. We click on it and voila. So our playground has been loaded, and it is asking us to make what kind of playground. For just for your knowledge, we are just going to have one blank first option, which is blank playground. We're going to click next, and then it's going to ask us where to save it. So I can save it in my document with the new folder, Xcode playgrounds. I can name it my first playground. So your playgrounds has been created. As soon as you create your playground, this is the thing which is gonna come in front of you. So in this Xcode playground, there are few options to understand. First, there are few sections. This is the section that where you're gonna write your code. As you can see that there's already a playground code is already here. And if you want to run your code, you can run your code line by line, or you can run your complete code, whatever the code has been written in this file. So there are total 3 sections to understand. This is the code section. The second section that you don't need much to worry about, but still you need a basic knowledge of it, that on the right side, if I run this line, it is gonna it's gonna take some time for the first time. So as you run your code, this section is only going to print whatever the variable values you have. It's not going to print the solution, whatever the calculation or anything else it's going to print. It's just I will not get you should not be getting more focused on this section, because this section is varying by the versions of Xcode. Version by version it's getting different. So the main thing we need is the solution screen, where the results of the whatever the code we are going to write is going to show. So if you see these 3 options, there are 3 options here. From the left bar is your file manager, and where you can find your files and resources and playgrounds. We don't need this one in this section. We can close it to make more space. On the right side there is an inspector of these files. So if you click on something, that there is an inspector here to manage them or change something. We don't need both of these files, but in the middle we have this button, and which is going to pop up from down. See this button we need. This is the section where all the solutions are going to get printed. So for example, if you write print str means this string, and I'm gonna run this code. So it is gonna print down here only the string. So there are 2 more options to understand, that if you play this button, it's going to run all of your code. If you want to play any single line or any few lines from 1 to 3, or maybe only 5 from 1 to 5, you can play it from there. There are two more options that I want to show you, that if you want to run your complete playground all at once, you can run it from here just by clicking this button, and stop it from here also. But if you click and hold this button, you can select to run this manually or automatically. What I will recommend that if you have a good processing speed of your computer, only then you should click this option, because this is, as soon as you finish your code editing, just for example I'm going to run it, run print and str, and it's going to automatically run, you see. So this will take a lot of processing power, but if you want this option, there's no problem with it. So it's automatically going to run when you're gonna finish your coding or you're gonna type something. So I will just stop it. And for now, just for your setup of your Xcode, if you are here, what we are going to do, we are going to start making playgrounds, and we are, for each playground we are going to be saving those things, and I'm going to upload all those playgrounds which we are going to build in upcoming videos for your help, and so you can learn better if you make any mistake. And see you in the next video.